The story of the resilience spread across the universe faster than light itself. Every alien species heard about the human ship that survived a hypernova like it was a mild inconvenience. Communication networks buzzed. Quantum computers worked overtime. Scientists from 1,000 different worlds tried to understand what had happened. But humans, they didn't care about the fame. Captain HFY Park was more interested in his next mission than the big discovery they had just made. The resilience continued its journey, moving through space like nothing special had happened. The Crystalline Confederation spent months studying every single piece of data from the mission. They broke down the ship's systems. They analyzed every moment of the journey. They looked at every single reading, every single movement. And they learned something important. Humans were not just another species. They were something else entirely. Dr. Aaron, the lead alien scientist, wrote a report that would be studied for generations. Humans, he wrote, are not defined by their limitations. They are defined by their ability to push beyond them. The report explained how humans saw challenges differently. Where other species saw impossible, humans saw a problem to solve. Where other species would give up, humans would find a way forward. Kang Min didn't know about the report. He was too busy planning the next mission. Sung Min was checking the ship's systems. Jisoo was playing her game. Minho was making coffee. Just another day. The universe was changing, and humanity was leading the way. More missions followed. More impossible things were done. Humans explored places no one thought possible. They solved problems that broke every known scientific rule. They adapted in ways that made other species look weak. The message was clear. Humans were different. On 1,000 different worlds, young aliens would hear the story of the resilience. They would learn about the ship that survived a hypernova, about the crew that treated the most destructive event in the universe like a boring road trip. Humans, the stories would say, are not like other species. Back on Earth, no one made a big deal about it. Just another day of human exploration. Just another story of survival. The Crystalline Confederation sent a message. It was simple, but it meant everything. Do not provoke humans, it said. HFY would have laughed if he knew. Provoke. Humans didn't look for fights, but they would never back down from a challenge. The resilience kept moving. The universe watched, and humanity continued to do what they did best. Survive. Adapt. Grow. Something fundamental had changed. The universe had learned a lesson. Humans were not just arriving in space. Humans were rewriting the rules of existence. And no one, absolutely no one, knew what would happen next. In the vast darkness of space, the resilience continued its journey. Another mission. Another day. Just another Tuesday for humanity. The end a reminder to the universe. Humans are different The message went out across the entire Crystalline Confederation. It was short, simple, but it would change everything. Humans are different. Diplomatic meetings erupted everywhere. Thousands of alien leaders gathered in massive crystal chambers. Holographic displays showed the resilience moving through the hypernova like it was a gentle summer breeze. Lyria stood at the center of the main conference room. Her crystalline body was still shaking from what she had witnessed. She began to speak. Her voice was a mix of musical tones that expressed wonder and pure terror. They are not like us, she said. They are not like anyone. The leadership of the Crystalline Confederation listened. These were beings who had explored thousands of galaxies, who had met hundreds of different species, who thought they understood everything about life and survival. And now, everything they knew was wrong. Dr. Aaron presented his findings. Holographic screens showed the resilience journey. They showed how the ship absorbed the hypernova's energy, how it grew stronger, how it adapted in ways no one thought possible. Their technology is alive, he explained. Their bodies are living machines. Their minds can do things we cannot understand. One of the senior leaders asked the important question, are they a threat? Lyria thought carefully. She remembered Captain Jadwa. How calm he was. How simple he made everything seem. Not a threat, she said, but something we need to understand. The diplomatic discussions went on for hours, days, weeks. Humans had been known before, but this was different. This was proof that humans were not just another species. They were something else entirely. The Resilience had become more than a ship. It was a message, a warning, a promise. Humans could survive anywhere. They could adapt to anything. Where other species saw death, humans saw a challenge. Where other species would give up, humans would find a way forward. More reports came in, not just from this mission, but from other human expeditions. Stories of humans surviving impossible situations, solving problems that should have been unsolvable, doing things that broke every known rule of science. A human medical team had survived on a planet with acid rain. A human mining group had worked in temperatures that should have killed them instantly. Human scientists had found ways to communicate with species that no one else could understand. The Crystalline Confederation realized something important. Humans were not just explorers. They were not just another species trying to survive. Humans were something else, a force of nature. We need to learn from them, one leader said. We need to be careful of them, said another. But they all agreed on one thing. The universe had changed, and humans were the reason why. Lyria looked at the final images of the Resilience. The ship was still moving through the Hypernova, still calm, still doing the impossible. She sent one final message back to the human ship. Who are you? The message asked. The response was simple, just like everything else about humans. We're from Earth, it said. And that explained everything. The diplomatic meetings continued. The discussions went on, but one thing was clear. Humanity was not just arriving in the universe. Humanity was rewriting the rules of the universe. And no one, absolutely no one, knew what would happen next. The alien scientists were losing their minds, literally and figuratively. Their most advanced technology was being rewritten by a single human ship. The Resilience had become more than just a spaceship. It was a living lesson about everything the aliens thought they knew about science, survival, and technology. Dr. Aaron stood in the observation room, his communication crystal pulsing with rapid color changes. Our entire understanding of physics is wrong, he said out loud. The ship's ability to absorb and convert the Hypernova's energy was just the beginning. The humans were doing something that went beyond simple survival. They were transforming energy in ways that should have been impossible. Kang Min walked over to the alien scientists. He was calm. Too calm. Like someone explaining a simple math problem instead of describing something that broke every known scientific law. Our technology adapts, he explained. We don't just build machines. We create living systems that can change and grow. The alien researchers pulled up holographic displays. They zoomed in on the Resilience hull. What they saw made no sense. The ship's outer layer was changing, moving, adapting to the Hypernova's energy like a living organism. The hull is not just a protective layer, one alien scientist said. It's alive. Sung Min, the ship's engineer, heard this and laughed. Pretty much, he said. We design our technology to learn, to grow, to solve problems we haven't even thought about yet. The implications were huge, massive, universe-changing. Every alien species had technology that was fixed, solid, unchanging. You built a shield, and it worked the same way every time. You created a computer, and it followed the same rules forever. But human technology was different. The Resilience computer systems were learning from the Hypernova, changing, growing stronger with each passing second. The shields were not just blocking energy. They were studying it, understanding it, turning it into something useful. Look at the energy conversion rates, Dr. Aaron said to Lyria. His hands were shaking. They're not just surviving, they're improving. Lyria's crystalline body flickered with confusion and excitement. She had never seen anything like this before. The human crew acted like this was normal. Jisoo was still playing her game. Jaehwa was drinking coffee. Minho was checking some routine ship systems. They looked like they were on a boring Sunday trip, not flying through the most destructive event in the known universe. More alien scientists gathered around the displays. They were taking notes, recording everything. Their quantum computers were working overtime, trying to understand what was happening. Their technology is organic, one scientist said. It's alive. Kang Min nodded. We don't see technology as something separate from us, he explained. We see it as an extension of ourselves, something that can grow, something that can learn. The resilience continued to move through the hypernova. Outside, energy patterns twisted and turned. Colors that didn't exist in any known spectrum danced around the ship. But inside, it was just another day. The alien researchers realized something important. Humans were not just another species with advanced technology. They were something else entirely. A species that saw technology as a living, breathing thing that could change and grow. This changes everything, Dr. Aaron said. Lyria looked at him. Her crystalline form was almost transparent with excitement and fear. Everything, she asked. Everything, he confirmed. The universe was about to learn a new lesson, and humanity was going to teach it. The resilience kept moving, absorbing, learning, growing. The quantum computers of the Crystalline Confederation were melting down, literally melting down. These were not ordinary computers. They were the most advanced thinking machines in the known universe, capable of calculating trillion calculations in a single second, designed to solve the most complex problems imaginable. And right now, they were failing completely. Dr. Aaron watched in shock as his primary computer system began to smoke. Tiny crystal circuits were breaking down, unable to process the data from the human ship. The screens flickered with impossible readings, numbers that made no sense, calculations that went against every known law of physics. This is not possible, he muttered. The computers were trying to understand how the human ship resilience was surviving inside a hypernova. But surviving was the wrong word. The ship was thriving, growing stronger, absorbing energy that should have destroyed matter itself. In the main research chamber, 3 top scientists from the Crystalline Confederation were arguing. Their communication was a series of light pulses and musical tones that expressed pure confusion. Their molecular structure cannot be this adaptive, said one scientist. Their energy conversion rate defies all known scientific principles, said another. The third scientist was silent. She was looking at a small holographic display that showed the resilience moving through the hypernova, like it was a mild summer breeze. Lyria, the diplomatic representative, approached the research team. Her crystalline body was flickering with nervous energy. What do we know? She asked. Dr. Aaron turned to her. His hands were shaking. We know nothing, he said. And that is the problem. The human ship continued its journey. Inside, the crew acted like nothing special was happening. Jaehwa was drinking coffee. Kang Min was reviewing some routine paperwork. Jisoo was still playing her handheld game. The hypernova raged outside. Colors that didn't exist in any known spectrum danced around the ship. Energy patterns twisted and turned. But inside the resilience it was just another day. More quantum computers began to fail. The Crystalline Confederation's most advanced research systems were breaking down, unable to understand what was happening. They had millions of years of scientific knowledge. They had explored thousands of galaxies. They had met hundreds of different species. But humans were something else entirely. Look at their biological readings, one scientist said, pointing to a screen. The human crew's body temperatures remained stable. Their radiation exposure was zero. Their cellular structure was not just surviving, it was adapting, changing, growing stronger with each passing moment. Dr. Aaron began to laugh. It was a strange sound, half cry and half laugh. "We thought we understood the universe," he said. And then humans came along. Lyria watched the screens. Her crystalline form was almost transparent with confusion. "How?" she asked. "How can they do this?" No one had an answer. The ship's computer systems continued to track the impossible journey. The *Resilience* was not just moving through the hypernova. It was learning from it, adapting to it, growing because of it. Sungmin, the ship's engineer, looked at the energy conversion readings and smiled. "Nice," he muttered. Outside, the hypernova continued to rage. Billions of tons of energy exploded in a pattern that should have destroyed everything in its path. But the human ship just kept moving. Something fundamental about the universe was changing, and humanity was leading the way. Dr. Aaron looked at his failing computer systems and realized one thing. Everything they knew about science, about survival, about life itself, was wrong. Humans were not just another species. They were something else entirely. When the alien scientists finally worked up the courage to ask how they were surviving, Captain HFY gave the most simple answer possible. "Earth," he said. That was it. Just one word. The aliens stared at him. Dr. Aaron's communication crystal pulsed with confusion. Lyria's transparent body seemed to vibrate with total bewilderment. One word was supposed to explain how they were surviving the hypernova. Kang Min saw their confusion and decided to help. "He means our home planet," he explained. "Earth is not like other planets." The alien scientists leaned closer. They wanted to understand. HFY sat back in his chair and began to tell a story. His voice was calm, like he was describing a boring weekend trip instead of a planet that produced beings who could survive the most extreme conditions in the universe. "On Earth," he said, "everything tries to kill you. From the moment you're born." He talked about the planet's crazy weather, hurricanes that could destroy entire cities, volcanoes that could cover the sky with ash, temperatures that could freeze or burn you in minutes, creatures that were poisonous, plants that could kill you if you touched them wrong. "We have animals that can kill you in 10 different ways before you even understand what's happening," HFY continued. "Insects that are smaller than your finger can put you in the hospital. Tiny frogs that can kill you just by touching your skin." The aliens listened. Their scientific minds tried to process this information. Sungmin, the ship's engineer, jumped in. "Humans don't just survive," he said. "We adapt. We change. We find a way to live where nothing else can." He told them about humans living in deserts where temperature could kill you in hours, about people walking through Arctic lands where no other creature could survive, about divers who could stay underwater for hours, about mountain climbers who could survive in places with almost no oxygen. "Our bodies are weird," Jisoo added, looking up from her game. "We can handle things no other species can." The alien scientists were taking notes. Their quantum computers, which had been failing moments ago, were now working overtime to record every single word. HFY talked about human history, about people who survived impossible situations, about explorers who went to places no one thought possible, about scientists who pushed beyond known limits. "A hypernova," he said, looking out the window. "This is just another Tuesday for us." Lyria couldn't believe what she was hearing. "But the radiation," she said, "the energy levels, the molecular destruction. How?" Kang Min smiled. "We don't just survive," he explained. "We turn challenges into opportunities. Where other species see death, we see a chance to learn, to grow, to become stronger." The *Resilience* continued to move through the hypernova. Outside, energy patterns that would have destroyed any other ship danced around them. Inside, the humans looked completely relaxed. Dr. Aaron's communication crystal was sending urgent messages back to the Crystalline Confederation. "You will not believe what I am learning about humans," he transmitted. The universe was learning a new lesson. Humans were not just another species. They were something else entirely. A force of nature. A group of beings who could look at the most destructive event in the galaxy and treat it like a mild inconvenience. "Any questions?" Jaehua asked, taking another sip of his coffee. The aliens had many, but they were beginning to understand one thing. With humans, nothing was impossible. The scientific team from the Crystalline Confederation couldn't stop staring at their screens. Numbers danced, calculations broke, and every single piece of technology they owned was screaming that something impossible was happening. Dr. Aaron, the lead alien scientist, tapped his communication crystal. His entire body was shaking with a mix of fear and pure scientific excitement. "This cannot be real," he said to no one in particular. The resilience was not just surviving the hypernova. It was doing something that went against everything the alien scientists knew about physics, biology, and basic survival. The ship was absorbing radiation that should have melted matter into pure energy in less than a millisecond. Sung Min, the human ship's chief engineer, was laughing. Actually laughing. "Would you look at that?" he said to Kang Min, pointing at the energy conversion screens. "We're gaining power from this mess." The ship's internal systems showed something truly weird. Where other ships would have been destroyed, the resilience was actually getting stronger. Radiation that should have killed anything in its path was being converted into pure energy. The ship's power cores were spinning faster. The shields were becoming more solid. It was like the hypernova was feeding the ship instead of destroying it. Kang Min adjusted his glasses and continued monitoring the readings. His fingers moved quickly across multiple holographic displays. Each screen showed different data, but they all said the same thing. The human ship was doing the impossible. "Radiation absorption is at 247%, he announced. "We're not just surviving. We're actually growing stronger." The alien scientists couldn't believe their eyes. Their most advanced quantum computers were breaking down trying to understand what was happening. Every single calculation showed that survival was impossible. Yet the human ship kept moving forward, absorbing energy like it was drinking a mild cup of tea. Dr. Aaron turned to Lyria, the diplomatic representative. "How?" he asked. His voice was a mix of confusion and pure scientific wonder. "How can they do this?" Lyria's crystalline form flickered. She had no answer. The human ability to survive was something that went beyond their understanding. Outside the ship's windows, the hypernova continued to rage. Colors that didn't exist in any known spectrum danced and twisted. Energy patterns that would have driven most species mad flickered around the resilience. But inside the ship, the crew acted like they were on a routine mission. Jisoo, a young crew member, was playing a handheld game. Minho was making another cup of coffee. Jaehua, the captain, was reviewing some routine paperwork. They looked like they were on a normal day trip, not flying through the most destructive event in the known universe. The alien scientists continued their observations. They zoomed in. They enhanced their readings. They ran every single test they could imagine. But nothing explained how the humans were doing what they were doing. "The radiation is being converted at a molecular level," Kang Min explained, more to himself than to anyone else. "Our ship's hull is actually changing the fundamental structure of the incoming energy." Dr. Aaron's communication crystal began to pulse with different colors. He was sending urgent messages back to the Crystalline Confederation. "You need to see this," he transmitted. "Humans are not like any species we have ever encountered." The resilience continued its journey. The hypernova raged around them. And the human crew. They looked like they were on a Sunday afternoon drive. Something fundamental about the universe was changing, and no one understood it better than the humans. Sung Min looked out the window and grinned. "Just another day at the office," he muttered. The universe had just learned a new lesson about humanity, and it was going to be a lesson nobody would forget. The stars outside looked different today. Not just different, they were wrong. Captain HFY Park knew something was brewing in the vast darkness of space, something that made the hair on the back of his neck stand up. The Resilience was not an ordinary spaceship. It was a marvel of human engineering, built to explore the most dangerous regions of the universe. Its hull was made of a special alloy that could withstand conditions that would turn other ships into dust. The ship's interior was surprisingly calm, with soft blue lights and smooth metal surfaces that seemed to absorb the tension of deep space exploration. HFY sat in the captain's chair, his fingers moving quickly across the holographic control panel. He was different from most space captains. Where others might show nervousness or excitement, he displayed a remarkable sense of calm. His dark eyes scanned the screens, taking in data that would make most people panic. "Something's coming," he muttered to himself. Beside him, Kang Min, the ship's chief science officer, was busy analyzing strange energy readings. His hands moved across multiple screens, each displaying a different set of complicated graphs and charts. Kang Min had a reputation for being the most paranoid scientist in the human exploration fleet. If something could go wrong, he would find it before anyone else. "Captain," Kang Min said, his voice tight with concern, "we're detecting an unusual energy signature. It's massive, bigger than anything we've ever seen before." HFY didn't look surprised. He had seen many unusual things in his years of space exploration. Humans were known for their ability to adapt, to survive in conditions that would kill other species instantly. This was just another day at the office. Outside the ship's massive windows, something was changing. The stars began to shift, their light warping in ways that defied normal physics. Normal ships would have been terrified. The Resilience remained steady. The alien diplomatic team watched in horror. They were from the Crystalline Confederation, a species known for their delicate nature and advanced technology. Their bodies were almost transparent, like living crystal sculptures that could shatter with the slightest touch. They had joined the human expedition believing they would witness something remarkable, but nothing could have prepared them for what was about to happen. Lyria, the lead alien diplomat, approached HFY. Her crystalline form seemed to vibrate with fear. "Captain," she said, her voice a musical sound that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. "Our sensors are showing catastrophic conditions forming ahead. We should change course immediately." HFY looked at her, just looked at her. No panic, no fear, just a calm assessment that seemed to say, "This is nothing special." "We're staying on course," he said simply. The alien diplomats exchanged worried glances. Humans were known to be unpredictable, but this was something else. They had heard stories about Earth, a planet so dangerous that everything on it seemed designed to kill its inhabitants. Humans had evolved to survive in conditions that would destroy other species in seconds. But this was beyond anything they had imagined. The ship's computer began to give warnings. Red lights started to flash. Alarms that would have sent other crews into a panic remained background noise on the Resilience. HFY didn't even blink. Kang Min continued his calculations. "Captain," he said, "the energy signature is increasing. We're approaching what looks like a hypernova event. The radiation levels air." He paused, checking his readings again. "They're off the charts." Most ships would have turned around. Most captains would have been sweating. HFY reached into a small drawer beside his chair and pulled out something that looked like ordinary sunscreen. The alien diplomats watched in total confusion as the human captain casually began to apply the cream to his arms. Something big was about to happen, and the Resilience was going to face it head-on. The hypernova was like nothing anyone had ever seen before. It was a massive explosion of energy that should have destroyed everything in its path. The Resilience sailed right into the heart of it, and the alien diplomats began to lose their minds. Lyria's crystalline body started to shake. Her transparent form flickered like a candle in the wind. "Our shields are failing," she screamed. The sound was like breaking glass, high and sharp and full of panic. Kang Min watched his screens with a mix of excitement and professional curiosity. Numbers flew across the displays faster than most beings could follow. Radiation levels were climbing. Temperature readings were going crazy. Any normal ship would have been vaporized seconds ago. But the resilience kept moving forward. "Captain," Kang Min said, his voice calm despite the chaos, "our shield integrity is down to 12%. By all known scientific calculations, we should be completely destroyed right now." Jae-Hwo didn't seem to care. He was busy rubbing something that looked like sunscreen on his arms. The other crew members were doing the same thing, as if they were preparing for a day at the beach, instead of flying through the most dangerous event in the galaxy. The alien diplomats couldn't believe their eyes. Their own technology was designed to handle extreme conditions. They had shields that could protect against radiation, temperature changes, and physical impacts. But those shields were failing. Their screens showed complete system breakdown. The human ship, it looked perfectly fine. More than fine, actually. The resilience seemed to be absorbing the energy around it. Kang Min's instruments showed something impossible. The ship wasn't just surviving, it was getting stronger. "Captain," he said again, "the ship is converting the Hypernova's energy into power. Our systems are actually improving." Jae-Hwo just nodded. "Told you we'd be fine," he said simply. Lyria moved closer to the human captain. Her crystalline form was now almost transparent with fear. "How is this possible?" she asked. Her voice was a mix of terror and pure scientific confusion. The human crew looked almost bored. A young crew member named Jisoo was playing a handheld game. Another, Minho, was drinking coffee. They acted like they were on a routine trip, not flying through the most destructive event in the known universe. Outside the ship's windows, the Hypernova rage. Colors that didn't exist in any known spectrum danced and swirled. Energy patterns that would have driven most species mad flickered and twisted. But inside the resilience it was just another day. Kang Min continued his analysis. He pulled up multiple screens, comparing the current readings with every known scientific database. Nothing made sense. The human ship was breaking every single law of physics that the alien civilizations understood. "Our absorption rate is increasing," he announced. "We're not just surviving. We're actually gaining energy from this event." The alien diplomats huddled together. Their communication was a series of light pulses and musical tones that expressed pure confusion. How could a single species be so different? How could they treat something that should be totally destructive as if it were nothing more than a mild inconvenience? Jae-Hwo finished applying his sunscreen and looked out the window. "Beautiful day," he muttered. Lyria couldn't take it anymore. "Beautiful?" she asked. "We are in the middle of a hypernova that should have destroyed everything within 1,000,000 kilometers." The human captain just smiled. "Welcome to humanity," he said. "We're a bit different." The resilience continued its journey. The hypernova raged around them. And the human crew. They looked like they were on a Sunday drive. Something fundamental about the universe was changing, and no one understood it better than the humans. Back on the resilience the crew didn't think they had done anything special. Jae-Hwo was writing his mission report. It was boring. Simple, like he was describing a routine trip to the grocery store instead of surviving the most destructive event in the known universe. "Hypernova encountered," he typed. "Standard mission parameters. No significant issues." Kang Min looked over his shoulder and laughed. "No significant issues," he said. "We just survived something that should have destroyed matter itself." The captain shrugged. "Just another Tuesday," he replied. This was how humans were. They had grown up on stories of survival. Stories that would make other species cry. Stories that showed how humans could do the impossible. Jisoo was still playing her game. Minho was making another cup of coffee. Some men was checking the ship's systems. They acted like nothing special had happened. But something had happened. Something big. The crew knew their history. They knew about humans who had survived impossible situations, about explorers who went where no one thought possible, about scientists who pushed beyond known limits. HFY remembered stories his grandmother told him, about humans who survived in the worst conditions on Earth, about people who climbed the highest mountains, who dove into the deepest oceans, who explored the hottest deserts and the coldest places. Humans didn't just survive. They thrived. You know, some men said, looking at the energy readings, most species would be freaking out right now. Kang Min nodded. We're not most species, he said. The ship's computer continued to analyze the Hypernova data. But it wasn't just recording. It was learning, growing, changing. The technology was alive in a way no alien species could understand. Outside the ship's windows, space was different. The Hypernova had changed something fundamental about the universe. But inside the resilience asterisk, it was just another day. Jisoo finished her game level and looked up. Are we there yet? She asked. The others laughed. They were flying through the most dangerous part of the universe, and she was worried about being bored. HFY thought about Earth, about the planet that had created them. A world so dangerous that everything tried to kill you from the moment you were born. A planet that made other species look weak. Humans had evolved on a planet that was constantly trying to destroy them. Hurricanes, volcanoes, extreme temperatures, deadly creatures, poisonous plants. Humans didn't just survive these things. They learned to love them. Home is worse, Minho said, looking out the window. This is nothing compared to a summer in the Australian outback. The others nodded. They all understood. Humans were different. Where other species saw danger, humans saw a challenge. Where other species would give up, humans would find a way forward. The ship's systems continued to convert the Hypernova's energy, turning something destructive into something useful, just like humans always did. Kang Min checked the ship's logs. We've increased our energy capacity by 350%, he announced. No one was surprised. This was normal for them. HFY finished his report. He added one last line. Mission successful. No complications. To a human, surviving a hypernova was just another day at the office. The resilience continued its journey. The universe watched. And humanity showed once again why they were something special. Not because they were strong, not because they were smart, but because they never, ever gave up.